these 4 Marines that we're honoring today, just show you that their commitment, not just to each other, to their country, to their families, but to themselves, to the Corps. And I'm going to try to say really nice things about the Marine Corps right now. Even though I am an honorary member, they did throw me out. And should I pull it out? Should I pull it out, the letter? I'm not giving you that letter. They all 5 of them signed it, and 3 of them are behind me right now. But it's an honor to really recognize what they have done. But not even in Melanie Burns, and I want to thank Melanie too for actually coming to us and saying she wanted to do this. And Melanie's going to get into what they've done with the Marine Corps and all their history. But Melanie, thank you for what you do. But I really just want to talk to them about what they have done since they've been home, because they could have lived quiet lives. They could have just went on and said, hey, I served my country and I'm just going to just fade away and then just enjoy myself. But these guys give back so much to the community. I watch that Vietnam era vets that have come home and they do extraordinary things. And you just walk out this door and walk up to your left, and you can see what they've done up there, the passion and the love they have just for each other, but what they have for veterans and families and Gold Star mothers and Blue Star mothers and families, that they're always there for the vets. They're always there. And anytime we ask them something that's going on, if you say veteran, they're there. Hey, we're going to run someone over. Oh, veteran, we're there. We're going to show up. But that's how they are. And they've done great things in the community and inspired generations. And actually, I really don't want to say this about you guys, because this is going to hurt. They have inspired me in the last couple of years. Just everyone in this room, but watching that group of men and women that have done what they've done up at the park and what they continue to do really gives me the inspiration as county executive to get out in the community and say we can do more. There's no excuse. I was watching one of the gentlemen who was going through chemo bringing like 40-pound stones over for the Gold Star Parents Memorial. I'm like, what are you doing? But that's, there's no in their vocabulary when it comes to giving back. So I do want to thank them.
Arms. Left and right. Face. Forward. March.
Under God's grace, we are gathered here today to honor these humble heroes of America's military, men who have become leading role models in our community, men whose service spanned nearly 2 decades, men who interrupted their lives to keep us safe and preserve our way of life.
Less than 1% of Americans put this uniform on. If you think about that, there's over 330 million Americans in this country, and less than 1% wears that uniform. If you think of World War II, there was over 16 million people that went and fought in that war. And out of that, it still only represented 1% of our population back then. And as this greatest generation moves forward, there's only, I believe, like 586,000 World War II vets left, and 31,000 resigned in New York State. Take the opportunity, reach out, hear their stories. They're incredible, but it's something that we should not take for granted.
It's nice to look out at folks and say thank you for your service while they're still alive. And this gives us the opportunity to do that, not just for the members of this great family, but for all of the veterans who are present here today. And it helps keep our priorities straight. And as I always said at the Honor of Veteran programs, I try to do that by remembering that all the blessings I had in my life didn't come by accident. They came because I live in the freest and most open democracy on earth. But freedom isn't free. We have paid a tremendous price for it. And I don't let a single day pass by without remembering those like my brother Bill, who made the supreme sacrifice, people like Thomas Robbins, and all of the others who made the supreme sacrifice. And then all of you, the Nardolillos, the veterans who are here today, who left their homes and families, went to far-off places, put their lives on the line for us, and thankfully came back home and continued, as you all know, and Melody will point this out, rendering outstanding service to their fellow veterans and to the community at large.
when I got in the service back during the Vietnam War, you know, I met so many great people and so many people that made a difference in our lives, as Mike has said. You know, we're here because of what our veterans do. And, you know, I've known the Nardolillo family for a long time, a long, long time. And when I first ran for public office in the 11th Ward, there was an Nardolillo on Ontario Street that worked very closely with me. We lost by 21 votes, but we had a great time. And I respected him, Frank, for everything he did, and this family has meant so much to this city and the capital region. But I wanted to be here today because of what this family has meant to all of us. And it sets a standard for all of our veterans. They have set a standard, and I thank all the veterans that are here today, those that aren't.
Johnny's love for war movies inspired him to join the U.S. Marine Corps. The Marine Corps has not been the same since, by the way. He served from 1955 to 1959. He was stationed at Parris Island, Camp Lejeune, Quantico, and Kaniho Bay in Hawaii. Let me tell you something. When he left Hawaii, they closed the gates because they didn't want any more of these guys down there. At age 15, John attempted to join the Marines but was held back by his mother, who told the recruiting sergeant that her son was too young, but determined enough, he waited 2 years and officially enlisted.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Mike?
Oh, you want to shake my hand?
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's an honor to be up here with me and my brothers. And I want to first mention the family that are here. My lovely wife of 30 years, I don't know how she put up with me. And my daughter next to her, Anne Marie. And then I got my eldest from a previous, Anastasia, and her husband, Danny. And my two sisters, Queenie and Lean. And they can introduce the rest. So when I did turn 17, my mother couldn't wait to sign the paper. So I went in, it was peacetime. And in the Marine Corps, peacetime is I would say it was rough. All you do is train, and then after that you have inspections and then parades. And I was told to be a Marine you had to be vicious, no sense of humor, no smile.
Joe was drafted in 1969, but instead joined the U.S. Marine Corps. He served from 1969 to 1971. He was stationed in the Marine Security Forces as well as Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, as a cook. Post-service, he worked as a Teamster for the Times-Union and the San Francisco Chronicle. He was a member of the Captain William Dale O'Brien detachment. So he's a good brother out there. So Joe's at the VA today, so he wasn't able to join us. So Peter was stationed for a year near Da Nang with the 1st Force Logistics Command. On his return to Albany, he was instrumental in the construction of the Albany Vietnam Memorial and Colony Veterans Memorial. Peter was with the Laborers Local 190 for 30 years. Wow, good for you. He is a recipient of the Navy Unit Citation, Presidential Unit Citation, Marine Corps Good Conduct. I find that so hard to believe with the Nardolillo brothers, you know what I mean? Good conduct, yeah. National Defense Service, Vietnam Service, Marine Security Guard, Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Cross, and the Republic of Vietnam Campaign. Was drafted in 1969, but instead, he said, I want to be a Marine.
Thank you. And Mike, who is a good man? The best. Thank you, Michael. I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug. Yeah. When I first got home, all my friends that we hung out with, I didn't even know they were in Vietnam. Nobody even talked about this. My friend Kevin, who Johnny knocks, you can't knock my man Kevin. But I started getting involved with a few people, and we had meetings in a bar at the Last Chance Saloon on Central Avenue, met Joe Policino and Jimmy Brown, and these are guys that were from Albany, from our community and our neighborhood. So we started to getting together. We were still a little loose, but what really got us going is, I think, when we went to the first dedication of the memorial in Washington. And we were like kind of tight, but we couldn't do a lot because we don't have that money. You know, you need money to do things. But it's been a pleasure to work with all the veterans. Doing the memorials was really from here, because you do it for your veterans. You know, my neighbor who lived right over Lombardo's restaurant, Eddie Finley, he didn't make it back. And that's why we do it. Thanks.
He's active in the community and participates in many different things, such as Little League and Babe Ruth. He's an officer at the Albany Academy Booster Club, a coordinator for Capital District Toys for Tots, and you're still hauling boxes and picking up toys, are you not, this year? Been doing that for a while. Stay away from Joe. I'm just going to keep reminding you of that. Life member and officer of the Captain William Dale O'Brien Detachment, member of the Zaloga Post, American Legion, life member of the Vietnam-era Veterans Tri-County Council, and he also took part in placing American flags at the Saratoga National Cemetery in Albany Rural. It's really hard, you know, to say enough about these guys and to put it all on paper. They are, like I said, an unbelievable group. I'm sorry Joe wasn't here to be a part of this, but an unbelievable group.
I'm going to be short and sweet. They said most of the stuff, but what I want to say in this room, there's a lot of veterans that do more than I do, and I hope they all get recognized. So that's it. Thank you very much.